Well, what's going on, guys? It's about 11:06 in the evening. It's still Sunday, and 19th, 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed the Emmys, because I sure as hell didn't watch the damn thing. No, I used to watch the Academy and the Emmys with my family a long time ago. And my mother would be ogling over the guys' suits, but also how wonderful, and then how not so wonderful, that she'd be looking at the women's attire. Worse than Joan Rivers. Or her daughter. I remember. Joan Rivers was a class act. There are a lot of class acts out there who are attire crazy because that's what they deal with. And my mother would be a critic of everybody. And then again, that was my mother's style. Not being a critic of everybody, just when she sees those outrageous outfits she'd watch on television, she'd come alive. David, come over here. Look at this. Mom, watching something else. Oh, come on here. Just 2 seconds. Look at this. Johnny, change the channel out there. We're watching something, Mom. Oh, come on. Alright, what am I watching? Look what they're wearing over here. Listen what they're talking about. Now, if we happen to said something negative about this, we would be reamed up the wall and then ignored for the next 3 days from on. Dave would call it a blissful vacation at times. Or just a little bit of a vacation after that. Of course, that would be the lib remark during that night. During the rest of the day, so she's still pissed off about it and she's not being cooperative, she turns into the silent treatment. And this is during the times when she was actually able to get around, and also when she was just being more isolated than usual. And not during the last 5 years of her life, no. Because she was losing her mind during that time. So. But prior to that, before she was losing her mind entirely, in that case, she was like that. Dave and I would have to endure it. We'd be watching people in their attire coming in. The guys wearing different styles of tuxedos and dress slacks and dress pants and dress shirts, ties and bow ties on some occasions, or polo ties. Somebody come in with a cowboy hat says, "Now that's my attire right there." You can see that in a Texas accent. I'm like, "Dave, it's coming out that drawl you on." He goes, "Y'all." I'm like, "Oh shit." My brother was pure Texan. Loved the state. But he didn't like the politics happening in the state. And he wasn't quite sure about the people dealing with the politics, then and now, if he was still alive. He'd shake his head at him. I said, "Man, I'm glad I'm not living in Texas these days." Well, he had made indications like that when he was still alive, especially when he had elections back and forth, and they're going crazy with Republicans versus Democrats trying to wrestle the control and the soul of the state of Texas. Because my brother, born in Texas, says you can take the guy out of Texas, but you can never take Texas out of the guy, and he's right about that. I mean, once you're born into a state of this point over here and you adopted all the state's values or anything else like that, I mean, the spirit of it that you inherited, it just becomes part of your nature. Much like I'm California, I'm supposed to be laid back, and yet I'm not tight on some occasions. And yes, I am laid back, but not enough to go, "Cowabunga, dude," or anything else like that. Or "Surf's up." Or talk like Val speak like they did back in the 80s. I listened to it, I'm like, this supposed to be English? I'm hearing students of my peer group talking like that. I'm like, I felt like I was the keysman in everybody's area there. Totally isolated. I heard to speak. I'm like, oh my God, save me from this. Scotty beat me up. There's no intelligent life form out there. By the way, that never happened in Star Trek. Not the meme kid coming out there. Just a little FYI. But even so, my mother would be totally fascinated with the cuts and the gowns and how they were laying across the woman's shoulders, if they were right or not, or if they were totally bare, and how they were formed and shaped. And she was also noticing how stylish the tuxedos were on the guys, if there was just a little bit of a modification here and there, a bit of a tinting issue here and there, or maybe the haircut got my mother's style. You know, it got my mother's eye on that one. And she'd listen to John Rivers going up and right, and her daughter going, and a few of the fashion critics going. My mother ate it up. My mother ate up the controversy. She had listened to it, and then the next day she'd be watching intently. That shows you how this particular man here didn't try to figure out, I'm not even going to start saying whether or not the dress looks nice or not, if the suit looks nice or not. I'm going to be oblivious, I'm going to be obligatory. I just want to say, yes, it does. I could be wearing a stained t-shirt at this point over here. Yes, he still looks nice. He's got stringy hair, he's got a scraggly face, and you're saying he looks nice? And just stare at him. Just not say a word. But when she got ill and couldn't follow it any longer or talk about it, it's like we kept it on for her to listen to. And then afterwards it just didn't matter anymore. I had seen the attires that they had worn after Ma died. And I just said, you know, it reminds me too much of her. It reminds me too much of Ma regarding this, because it was Ma. It's not me. I'll be watching something else on television that mattered more. Usually something more stupid. Either a comedy or a drama or something science fiction-y. Or maybe something on the news that was catching me and my brother's attention. Maybe a one news channel out there watching, doing the Emmys, and another one are doing a car chase. My brother and I be watching the car chase. Sometimes we get snacks out there. So do you think you'll get them this time? I don't know. How many people you'll think you'll be nailing? Well, they're driving safely right now. And we'd start looking at it and say whether or not this guy's going to be crazy or not. And if they start driving crazy while we start getting into the broadcast, we know that this was going to be an exciting one. We're like, oh, he almost better, he almost bought it. Shit, he didn't get him. Well, it's a good thing he didn't get him anyway. I mean, it'd be roadkill like this. Yeah, I know. We'd argue about that sometimes. These days, I'd watch them, the car chases. Not to honor my brother, but because I still like to watch the car chases. Even though most of the time, they will get busted. But once in a while, they won't. They'll manage to sneak off somewhere. They'll manage to hide in an apartment complex or a shopping center and just disappear, and that's it. Then maybe they'll get picked up by the ground units down below or by the air. We'll never know. But tonight was the Emmys, and I didn't even have the heart to watch the Oscars. I used to watch the Emmys when I actually had a lot of shows that I was really interested in watching to see whether or not they got nominated and if they're going to win or not. Who's got the best actor, best actress, best haircut. But yeah, I couldn't deal with that. So safe to say that this particular posting I'm going to do out there will be safe enough for people. Because I'm not trying to make this into a controversial, political, or medical scene. Just trying to share a memory right now. Till next time.